Hi everyone, hope you're all having an awesome holiday season. It's Ria here with a heart card reading for today. I have not done a heart card reading for a while, but I felt really inspired to do this particular heart card reading for the way it came about. Like a lot of you guys, I was just getting ready for Christmas, wrapping some presents up and stuff like that. I was in the guest room where I was doing a lot of my heart card readings last year because it was like in a different part of the house and quiet and I could record. Well, as I was wrapping presents, I dropped something and I found this heart card. And it was missing since last spring. But the way spirit works is sometimes it just appears, and it doesn't really appear out of nowhere. You've attracted whatever it is into your reality for a higher reason. So I read it, and I knew it was going to be very pertinent to whatever I was going through at the moment, because I don't believe in coincidences, and I take things that especially pertain to the heart, which all these cards really pertain and represent my heart and something that I created. And I'm like, oh, it must be this message is really important for me to receive. And it was, and it's always something that that is a challenge for me. And this particular card, well, I'll read it in a second. I was going to record it, and then something like, had me wait because it wasn't quite ready to record. I was still kind of accumulating information, expanding upon the meaning of this card. And it actually goes with relating to something else. So today, after I went for my run, and as always, I see lots of little hearts when I'm running, I thought, yeah, this card here, I have to share it today because it has the fullness of the message has to do with Christmas in the season. And they always say little cliches like the reason for the season is Jesus. Well, this, to me, Jesus and connecting to your higher self is the reason, because little 8.5-pound baby Jesus is representative of love and higher consciousness and coming to show us the way to connect to our self and our love within, and God and Jesus, everything within us. And he came as not just a human being, but as a symbol of what we are to be, as a teacher, as a model, as something for us to follow, per se. But he even wanted us to follow the voice, the heart, the love within us. So to me, that represents saying yes to higher self. Like my son and I have been going through a thing lately where we're always encouraging each other to say yes to higher self. And when you say yes to higher self, it might be acting on or doing something that really makes you happy in the end. Initially, like this morning, it was 0 degrees and I didn't necessarily feel like running, but I know how I connect to my spirit, my higher self, it like opens up a portal, and it's a gush of information and communication with higher self when I say yes to that higher self. So he's like texting me this morning and saying how he's at the gym and he's working out, and that's just the way he connects right now to his higher self. And he was all excited, and I'm like, oh, Caleb, what has gotten into you? Because I got to get my little ones ready, get them to school. But he says, Mom, don't forget, say yes to higher self. And so that was beautiful because it was a little encouragement for me this morning. And I'm so happy I said yes to higher self, because all of my heart cards even derived from my runs, which is always saying yes to my higher self. For me, it's running because it just like clears my energy, gets me breathing, gets me connected to Mother Earth. And it opens up like this portal where I just, whoosh, I'm flooded with information. And that information isn't necessarily from the outside, but it's just igniting that which is within me. And for you guys, it could be knitting, it could be art, it could be going to work at something you love doing, it could be taking care of your children, it could be just listening to music, listening to YouTube videos, whatever it is. Say yes to your higher self, and it's the voice within you, within your heart, that speaks to you, and you know you're going to feel better. Well, saying yes to higher self brought me to this card. And this card, you can see it's one of the cards, All my pictures are taken when I'm running, and their hearts, which represent connecting and becoming in alignment to your authentic self and your heart energy. And this one particularly, it's like a glob of hardened dirt, and it's got these tracks on it. Obviously, I was running on the pavement that day, and I saw this, and I always take pictures, and then messages. I receive messages to all my hearts to match them with. And this one particularly is called Acceptance of Self. And the message says, when we label and judge others for how they are living and simply being, we are masking judgment against ourselves. They are manifestations of the limitations we place to live freely from the heart. Judgments are reflections of self-denial. They need to be integrated into the light in order to live in true freedom. Now this card here, what it is saying is a lot of times when we judge others or we see those outside reflections that bring forth judgment, it's saying that we're really judging ourselves. I'm going to use just a little example of my mother-in-law. She's in her 60s, and she admitted and told us, my husband and I, this story that she used to judge us or judge others. Like my husband got some tattoos, like a Jedi tattoo and some other tattoos. And she thought to herself, why would anyone do that to themselves? That's really stupid. Well, she herself was going through a growth period, a healing period, self-reflection and introspection. And after she kind of went through that, she realized she really wanted a tattoo. And since then, well into her 60s, she's gotten tattoos of things that are important to her, meaningful to her, like things that represent where she was from, the Big Apple, how she was really into the New York Yankees. And she shared that story with us, and I thought it was really cool that she made the connection that she judged others on the outside world for their tattoos because in reality she was denying herself something that she really did want but didn't realize she wanted. So this card is just telling us when you're judging on the outside, not are you just judging or criticizing the outside world, it has something to do within. And the outside world always is that mirror for us to see ourselves. And it might not come to you right away, but you'll make the connection at a later date if you just say, okay, why am I judging this person for being a partier or whatever? Maybe it's because you deep down wish you had a freer lifestyle. You wish you didn't have the chains or self-criticism or beliefs that don't allow you to express like that partier person. It could be anything. It could be somebody who doesn't care about what they eat, they don't exercise. You might be judging them because you hold yourself into such limitations and restrictions and have-tos and thinking, okay, I need to eat healthy, I need to do this, I need to do that to be worthy, to be important, to be good, to be healthy. When really, when you're judging other people, it all comes back down to self. And what this card is saying is, it's not even saying, okay, don't ever judge. It's just saying when you do that, it is a self-reflection and self-acceptance and is what is needed. You need to integrate those parts. Just realize it. Realize, oh, okay, that's why I do that. I really need to love that part of me, or maybe I need to release that belief or that limitation within myself. And then when you do that, you can accept yourself and all those around you a lot more openly and without judgment, control, criticism, and any of that. So the point of this card, when it says to integrate all aspects of yourself and to release judgment and to just be and release those limitations and beliefs, you have to do that in order to say yes to higher self, because higher self has no judgment. You might deny or push down that little voice of higher self, your spirit self, your God self speaking to you, because you actually may be judging that which higher self is calling you to do. For example, you might have a terrible, messy house and you got company coming over for the holidays and you feel you need to be cleaning house, cooking, cleaning, even shopping, buying presents, all those things. You might be feeling you need to do that instead of what higher self is calling you to do. It might be calling you to say, okay, you need to take a little time by yourself and just go for a walk, go to the gym, go buy yourself something. Higher self may be calling you to do that. Spend a little more time reading that book you love. But you might be kind of pushing down that voice because you might be thinking, I really need to get this done. But in reality, if you say yes to that higher voice, like even this morning, I said, oh my God, I got all these things I really need to do. I got more Christmas cards I should be sending out, but something really was calling me to go for my jog. And I know I always feel better. I'm always enlightened. I'm always filled in a very deep way that gives me energy to accomplish all those other things I need to do if I just say yes to higher self first. And I almost didn't, thinking, oh, I really need to do this. Like, needs could be doing things you think you need to do out of obligation, out of guilt, out of those kind of things. And a lot of times, those are all placed in judgment, judging yourself for whatever it is. You might think you need to go to the gym, but really you don't need to go to the gym. You really need to relax. That's what higher self is calling you to do, to just have some quiet time, listen to something you enjoy listening to or watching. You've got to let go of the self-judgment in order to say yes to higher self. And to me, this message is like point on, because that's what Christmas is about. It's about saying yes to higher self, yes to your heart, aligning to your heart energy. For that is the source, the direction, the compass to higher expansion of love. And every time you say yes, even little steps to higher self, it takes you to another level, another expansion of knowledge, self-discovery, self-creation of why you're here, why you came, simply to be you, just to be you. Nothing, it's not that you have to go out and do a bunch of things, but just absorbing, expressing, and grounding the energy that you are. And that's what this message is about today for me. It was just all this beautiful energy I was flooded with because I said yes to higher self, and I decided to act out on this card and do a message. As I do all that, I'm just grounding that very energy to Mother Earth to manifest and to show back, to be the mirror of all the energy that I am acting on, all the yeses that I say to higher self, all the releasing of judgment to create a more authentic life, a more authentic version of myself. And when you say yes to higher self, and every time you say yes, it takes you to other levels and levels of expansion. It's not necessarily levels. I say levels because as humans, we're very linear. We want formulas and time and mathematics, that kind of stuff to explain our reality. But really, it's just shifting vibration, shifting your energy and your frequency to tap into other levels, other frequencies, other expanded versions of yourself. So anyways, hopefully somebody out there got something from this. It's just saying release judgment, accept what's in your heart, and in that you're aligning to your heart energy. And in aligning to your heart energy, you're connecting to your Christ consciousness. And then through that, you can then have that be demonstrated in your life. Happy holidays to everybody, and I wish you lots of love and light.